What's up, KFG crew and KFG Kings? It's your boy Bigboyfactsjonnytv, and tonight I'll go on my WWE Smackdown review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications when I premiere a brand new video. I'll go live on YouTube. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. Let's talk about Smackdown. Now, Smackdown was a good show, and that's all I have to say. But Smackdown went live at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. That's all I gotta say. So we kick things over with Ricochet versus Happy Corbin. This match was decent. The bell rings. We are underway. Ricochet with the head scissors takedown and Corbin to the outside. Corbin slides back into the ring and Ricochet with a drop kick. Ricochet with a standing shooting star. He goes for the cover, but Corbin kicks out. Ricochet on a ring apron, but a right hand by Corbin. Ricochet thrown into the corner and Corbin with right hands. Corbin goes for a clothesline, but Ricochet moves out of the way and a back elbow. Corbin to the outside of the ring. Ricochet goes for a baseball slide. Corbin moves out of the way. Ricochet runs towards Corbin as Corbin throws him in the air, but Ricochet lands on the second rope. Ricochet with a splash onto Corbin. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Ricochet with a baseball slide. Corbin on the outside. Ricochet on the apron. Ricochet goes for a kick, but Corbin blocks it, and he picks Ricochet up on his shoulders, and he slams Ricochet into the announcer table. He throws Ricochet into the barricade. A right hand by Corbin as he throws Ricochet back into the ring. A right hand by Corbin. He lifts Ricochet up and slams him face first onto the turnbuckle. He goes for the cover, but Ricochet kicks out. Corbin sends Ricochet to the ropes and a right hand by Corbin. He throws Ricochet ribs first onto the ring post, and Ricochet falls to the outside of the ring. Ricochet gets back into the ring as Corbin goes for a slide walk slam, but Ricochet reverses it into a DDT. Right hands and kicks by Ricochet. Corbin pushed Ricochet away, but Ricochet with a kick to the side of the head. Ricochet with a hurricanrana followed by a knee to the face. Ricochet runs to the ropes and Corbin hits him with the deep six. He goes for the cover, but Ricochet kicks out. Corbin places Ricochet on the top rope, but Ricochet kicks him down. Ricochet on the top rope. He goes for the splash, but Corbin moves out of the way and Ricochet lands on his feet. Corbin lifts Ricochet up and slams him into the mat. He goes for the cover, but Ricochet kicks out. Corbin goes for a right hand, but Ricochet with kick and right hands. Ricochet climbs to the top rope, and Ricochet hits him with the shooting star press. He goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner of the match, Ricochet. This was a decent match. We cut backstage as the Street Profits run into Hero. All of them greet each other. As Ford says, they are all about the money into the smoke they go. I like the string of matches between Ricochet and Happy Corbin. Both Michael Cole and Pac-Man Appy have done great in recent weeks, hyping them up on commentary too. Feels like a new rebuild for Ricochet. But like I said, that match was decent between Ricochet and Happy Corbin. That match was decent. But anyway, let's move on. Commercial break. A video package talking about Drew McIntyre's life airs. Karen Cross is with Scarlett as he says that was a beautiful story. He says now could be Drew time or not, but he wants him to think of it because in reality, at any given moment, he can hit him in the back of his head, and all of his achievements will mean nothing. So we go to commercial break. Alright, WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament. Nikki ASH and Doudrop versus Sonya Deville and Natalia versus Dana Brooke and Tamina versus Shotzi and Xia Ali. This was a women's Fatal 4 Tag Team match. This match was squash. This was a squash match. The bell rings and we are underway. Xia Li and Nikki ASH are in the ring. Xia Li throws Nikki onto the top rope. Shotzi tags herself in as they double team Nikki. Shotzi goes for the cover, but Tamina breaks it up. Dana is tagged in, and Nikki with a swinging neckbreaker. She goes for the cover, but Sonya Deville breaks it up. Tamina hits Sonya with a super kick. Doudrop with a crossbody onto Tamina. Xia Li and Shotzi double team Doudrop. Natalia with a clothesline onto Xia Li. Natalia throws Shotzi to the outside of the ring. Dana with a right hand. She climbs the second rope, but Nikki slows her down. Nikki climbs the second rope. Sonya tags herself in. Dana suplexes Nikki off the second rope onto the outside of the ring, onto everyone. Sonya throws Nikki onto the ring. She goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner of the match, Sonya and Natalia. This fatal 4-way tag team match was a squash match. This was squash. The women's tag team match wasn't good. It felt like it had no rules, and even Michael Cole said he won't know why you would want to tag someone into the match if they aren't your tag team partner. These fatal 4-way matches have to be tornado matches. Okay, let's move on. Commercial break. Sheamus is in the ring with Ridge, Holland, and Bush. This was the best segment of the entire show. Alright. He says the Brawling Brutes are going to be starting fights and drink fights as they celebrate him becoming the new Intercontinental Champion. He says he will be the WWE's first Ultimate Grand Slam champion after he defeats Gunther. Out comes Gunther with Louis Caster. They get in the ring as Caster speaks in German. Sheamus tells him he doesn't have a clue on no one in the arena has a clue what he is saying. That part was funny. He tells him to shut up. Sheamus tells Gunther that he calls himself the ring general, but the truth is Sheamus is the real ring general. Sheamus says he has faces the best of the best, and he has beat every single one of them. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and even the King of Kings, Triple H. And nobody in this business has had banger after banger. He tells Gunther he sees a lot of himself and a lot of himself in him, and it has been years since he has seen anyone who has the same brutal physical qualities as he does, and it reminds him of himself as they love to go to war in the ring. He tells Gunther he has something he wants, and that is the Intercontinental Championship. Sheamus promised him that at Clash at the Castle, he will drag that title of his lifeless body and into the belly of the Red Dragon. Gunther grabs the microphone from Caster. He tells Sheamus that he is a man to be respected, but he is nothing like him. He is the Intercontinental Champion, and to protect this title, he will teach him what violence really means. He tells him in Cardiff not only will be retained the title, but he will chop his chest into bloody bits. He will break his body and spirit. He will break the man everyone thinks cannot be broken. Sheamus and Gunther are face to face as Caster and Butch fight. Holland trips him up as they fight on the outside of the ring. Sheamus and Gunther are still in the ring face to face. Sheamus grabs Butch and holds him back as Gunther holds Caster back. That fight between Caster and Butch was funny. That was hilarious. Okay, let's move on. That was the best segment of the entire show. Sonya and Natalia are backstage, and in comes Megan. Sonya says they had an opportunity and they won. She has Natalia is the boat of WWE. Natalia says Sonya is one of the hardest hitting women in the division. She says Aaliyah and Raquel should be very concerned. Sonya says one small rookie mistake and they will make the finals of the tournament. All right, Gunther against Sheamus is the single greatest Intercontinental title match in over a decade. That promo, that stare off is going to be a monster of a title match. All right, so we go to commercial break. Sami Zayn is backstage and he knocks on Roman Reigns' door. The Usos open. Jimmy tells Sami Zayn that Montreal was on fire. Sami Zayn says he was close to winning. Jay tells him he still lost. Jay asks Sami Zayn why he is knocking on the door. Sami Zayn tells him he thought Roman would want to see him. Roman asks Jay who is it, and Sami Zayn tells him it's him. As Roman Reigns tells him to enter. Roman Reigns is sitting in his office, and Roman tells him to sit. Sami Zayn asks him, how's everything going? Roman Reigns tells him he's great, and asks Sami Zayn, how is he? Sami Zayn says his jaw is still sore from last week. If Roman remembers. Roman says Sami lost. Roman says sometimes bad things happen sometimes. That way you can redeem yourself. Roman Reigns tells him he was alone last week and needed someone to help him out, and he appreciates it last week. Roman says that is something that family will do. Sami Zayn says that it's something family should do, and he is happy to do it. He tells Roman he can count on him for anything. Roman says he needs another favor. He needs Drew distraction. Alright, Sami Zayn says he has a match with him tonight, and that is what he does. He gets in people's heads. He says a panic and dance. He says by the time Drew gets the Cardiff, he will break him in half. Sami Zayn says maybe this is something they can all do together. Roman Reigns says it sounds good, but if you put them all out there, Roman Reigns gets distracting. And tonight it's all about Sami Zayn. It's his opportunity to be the main event. Sami Zayn thanks him as he shakes Jimmy's hand. He extends his hand to Jay, but Jay points to the door. Bailey is on commentary with Io Sky and Dakota Kai. So we get Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah versus Natalia and Sonya Deville. This was a god-awful tag team match. The bell rings, we are on the way. Natalia and Aaliyah are in the ring. A headlock by Natalia. She runs to the ropes and goes for a clothesline. But Aaliyah moves out of the way. She rolls Natalia up, but Natalia kicks out. Aaliyah tags Raquel into the match. She hits Natalia with a shoulder block. She goes for the cover, but Sonya breaks it up. Aaliyah clotheslines Sonya to the outside. Aaliyah with the Meteora. Natalia with the Machoku driver onto Aaliyah on the outside of the ring. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Raquel hits a double suplex on Natalia and Sonya. She goes for the cover, but Sonya kicks out. A fall-away slam by Raquel. She climbs the second rope, but Sonya trips her up. She goes for the cover, but Raquel kicks out. Sonya distracts the referee, and Natalia with a kick onto Raquel. Kicks out by Sonya. Kicks by Sonya. A right hand by Raquel, but Sonya with a kick. She goes for the cover, but Raquel kicks out. A sleeper hold by Raquel as Natalia gets in the ring. Raquel stands up with Sonya on her shoulders, and she body slams Natalia. Raquel goes for the tag, but Aaliyah is still down from the Machoku driver. Raquel with a splash on Natalia in the corner. She hits Sonya with a splash. Raquel with the crow screw elbow off the second rope. She goes for the cover, but Sonya kicks out. Raquel lifts Sonya up, but Natalia trips her up. Natalia goes for the sharpshooter, but Raquel kicks her away. Sonya with a running knee. She goes for the cover, but Raquel kicks out. Kicked by Sonya, but Raquel lifts her up and hits her with the Jada bomb. She goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner of the match, Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah. That tag team match was garbage. But Raquel Rodriguez was doing all the work, and Aaliyah was just outside the ring. But anyway, let's move on. Io Sky and Dakota Kai get in the ring, and they are face to face with Raquel and Aaliyah. All right, so we get MMM are backstage, and they photo shoot. Heroes music hits as they are in the truck next to them. Max Dupree says someone has to fix it, and Maxine says she has an idea, and she walks away. All right, so it says a much better women tag team match. Bailey joined the commentary team was fun too. Her argue with Michael Cole never gets old. The women's tag team title final on Raw and not at Clash at the Castle is a bit of a surprise. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Maxine is back with Lost Authorities. They tell Max Dupree that they heard MMM have a problem, but they have a solution. We cut to the ring, and the New Day are in the ring. Woods is in a wheelchair. Woods says he knows that normally they are out there clapping, dancing, and happy, but this is difficult for them. They have been making fun of the Viking Raiders, how vicious they are, their intelligence. The reality is that they underestimate them. Kofi says the past few weeks they have been getting their kicked by them. Woods says they have to face the harsh reality last week, and they saw the Viking funeral. They saw them burning boxes of bootios. They saw them burning New Day shirt. Unicorn horns their legacy. Wood says it was done, and maybe New Day is just that. Kofi says they got a chance to do a lot of great things. Out comes the Viking Raiders. Eric says that this is pathetic. They gave them a proper send off. A Warriors right. Ivar says they aren't leaving with honor. Woods asks if they can give them a few minutes to talk. Eric says one thing a Viking despises is weaknesses, and it makes them sick to see them in the ring like a wounded animal. And sometimes the best thing to do a wounded animal is to put them down. The Viking Raiders get in the ring. Kofi tells them to stop. Wood stands up with the candlesticks and he throws one to Kofi. They start hitting the Viking Raiders with them. Okay, Xavier Woods right now. Okay, the New Day and Viking Raiders thing has to end. It just has not been good. Okay, so we go to commercial break. MMM are backstage and they spray paint Hit Row's truck, written Hit Row. Hit Row asks them what they are doing as MMM challenges them to a match next week. Hit Row tells them this ain't their bus. The Street Profit comes out of the truck. We cut backstage and Sami Zayn is warming up for the match. Jimmy tells him that Roman Reigns doesn't talk about many people like that. Jay tells him not to fail. Sami Zayn asks him why is he talking negatively, and that is what he was talking to Roman Reigns about last week. Jay tells him he was talking behind his back last week as Jimmy grabs Jay and then walk away. I'm gonna tell you one thing. What makes sense is that I'm gonna tell you what's interesting and makes sense. Have Sami Zayn pin Jey Uso. Now Jimmy Uso is cool, but have Sami Zayn pin Jey Uso. That's all I gotta say. Okay, let's go to commercial break. I just had to put that out there. Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. This was a solid main event. This was solid. The bell rings. We are on the way. Sami rolls to the outside of the ring. Drew goes to the outside and Sami Zayn gets back inside the ring. Drew gets inside of the ring and right hands by Sami. He stomps on Drew, but Drew gets up and hits Sami Zayn with a right hand. Drew with more right hands. He slams Sami Zayn into the turnbuckle. A chop to the chest by Drew McIntyre. He throws Sami Zayn to the ropes, but Sami Zayn rolls to the outside of the ring. Drew runs after Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn kicks Drew. He tries to slam Drew onto the announcer table, but Drew blocks it. Drew slams face first into the announcer table. He slams Sami Zayn into the ring apron. Drew throws Sami Zayn into the ring. Drew is getting into the ring, and as he is in between the ropes, Sami Zayn kicks the middle rope. Sami Zayn with kicks as he starts to celebrate. Sami Zayn turns around and a right hand by Drew, followed by a backbreaker. Drew placed Sami Zayn on top of the rope, but Sami Zayn with a right hand. Sami Zayn with a sunset powerbomb off the top rope. So we go to commercial. Back from the commercial, Sami Zayn with a tornado DDT. He goes for the cover, but Drew kicks out. Sami Zayn goes for a back drive, but Drew lands on his feet and hits him with a Glasgow kiss. Drew with a overhead belly to belly, followed by a neckbreaker. Out comes the Usos onto the outside of the ring. They distract Drew as Sami Zayn hits him with the Blue Thunder Bomb. He goes for the cover, but Drew kicks out. Right hands by Sami Zayn, but Drew with a chop to the chest. Drew kicks the Usos off the ring apron. Sami Zayn rolls him up, but Drew kicks out. Sami Zayn runs to the Rose and Drew hits him with the Claymore. He goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner of the match, Drew McIntyre. This was a solid main event. Out comes Roman Reigns after the match and attacks Drew from behind. Roman Reigns throws Drew into the turnbuckle, but Drew reverses it as he throws Roman Reigns' shoulder first onto the ring post. The Usos get in the ring as Drew throws Jimmy to the outside of the ring. Roman hits Drew with the spear. The Usos grab steel chairs and hits Drew with them. Then they throw Drew to the outside of the ring. The Usos throw Drew over the announcer table. The Usos throw Drew into the barricade. They hold Drew up and Sami Zayn hits him with a haluba kick. The Usos grabs the steel steps and hits Drew McIntyre with it. The Usos throw Drew McIntyre back into the ring. Roman tells him the top of the mountain is his and he will never have it until he is done with it. Roman with the guillotine on Drew McIntyre. Roman Reigns grabs a steel chair and places it above Drew as he sits on the chair with two title belts. And then SmackDown goes up, and then it says, "Look, a solid main event. Sami Zayn looked good out there as it wasn't all Drew McIntyre, but the outcome was never the doubt." And SmackDown goes off the air. But like I said earlier, this is gonna have Drew McIntyre winning at Clash at the Castle, and that's all I gotta say from here. But overall, SmackDown was a good show, and that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications when I go live on YouTube or premiere a brand new video. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. And I will see you guys next in my AEW Rampage review and highlights. This your boy Bigboyfactsjonnytv. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and always stay positive. KFG crew, KFG Kings. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang.